Right, welcome back. Now, it's very clear, yesterday members of parliament forced the shelving of the controversial value-added tax bill to demand their July salaries, mileage and car grant allocations. And of course, a great deal of things happening in parliament. We want to find out what is really cutting. And we are indeed honored to have Honorable Junet Mohammed, who is the Suna East Member of Parliament. Junet Mohammed was the former Migori town mayor, was nominated as a councillor back in 2003. Welcome to the Power Breakfast show indeed. Perhaps just to know you a little bit more, perhaps you could tell us a bit about your professional background.
Mwakazi, my name is Junet Mohammed, as you said. I'm the Member of Parliament for Suna East.
And you are not a Luo?
I'm not a Luo.
That's interesting.
I'm a Luo by association.
By
association, yes. And a Somali by birth. So I come from Migori. I stay in Migori. I come from Suba East location, Suna Central location, Kadika village in Migori town. That's my place of stay. That's my home actually. That's where I come from. And I am also professionally, I went to school there. I went to school here in Nairobi also at Lenana School. I have done business also, administration. And after that I became politician. I've joined politics in Migori. And I served as a mayor, as you said, in that town for 5 years. And now I'm serving as a member of parliament in the National Assembly.
Awesome indeed. You know, it's absolutely amazing when, especially during political campaigns, people are, voted in because of tribal affiliations. But for you, it was absolutely different. Tell us how you made it.
No, actually, that place, 99% of the people living there are Luo. Let's say 98%, 1% of other, 2% of other communities. But it depends on how you relate with the people. It depends on how you connect with the people. It depends on good manners, how you stay with the people, how you contribute to the social activities of that area, and such kind of things. But the most surprising thing I've ever seen is that during the elections, we were, I think, 5 of us on the ballot paper, and an old Luo woman or lady who has not gone to school will come to the ballot and say that if she cannot pronounce my name, she will say that I want to vote for the warrior. That really is that really makes me feel, indebted to her or to those kind of people. Yeah, they come to the ballot paper. She can't pronounce the name Junet.
But she
it's not a Luo name, but she says I want to vote for the warrior, and she votes for me. That is mesmerizing, Mwakazi.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely. So thank you so much indeed. So let's get to the heart of the matter.
Yes.
So members of parliament, they have the work to discuss, debate the VAT bill and other bills.
Yes.
But then they decide we're not going to do that until we're paid our salaries, mileage, car grants. What is the issue?
No, actually, this is not a matter as it is being put out of proportion. It's a simple matter. Since parliamentarians joined the House in April last year, there had been problems over the welfare. April this year. There have been problems of their welfare. Many of the members don't have offices. They operate from their cars. Many of the members have not settled well at the constituency level. They're supposed to have offices at the constituency level. And salaries even of June last month was paid yesterday. So members were agitating so that, the recess is coming. From yesterday, they were supposed to adjourn the House and go for recess for 1 month. They're supposed to go back to their constituencies. Their expectations there at the constituency level. So they were just, in a way saying that we need to be given what belongs to us so that we can go and serve our constituents properly for the 1 month that we are on recess. It's not actually, they were not saying per se that we are not going to pass those bills. They only postponed the bill to Tuesday next week, so that by that time they will have been also sorted out and they can go back on Tuesday and adjourn the House and go back to their constituencies.
But there's no difference. If you don't sort us out, we will not do this.
Not really as such, except that You know, that is the only weapon at their disposal, actually, the way I saw it. That is the...
Let me ask you, you are a very young person.
Yes.
If you look at the newspapers today, civil servants, 450,000 of them have not been paid because of transitional problems. Suppose civil servants, those 450 people, decided to do the way, go your way, the parliamentary way. What country do you have? Would you have?
You know, here we are not discussing only about salary of 1 month. Civil servants are talking about their salary of last month. Here we are discussing about officers.
But you are leaders.
We are discussing about...
You are leaders.
I agree, we are leaders, but leaders also have to be facilitated to do their job. You don't expect me to work in my car and legislate for you on a bill, a technical bill, that I need to look at critically in my office. You expect me to do it in my car, and you're telling me I'm a leader. I need to be facilitated so that I can do my work. You don't expect me to foot to my constituency.
I don't think you can get any justification for whatever you did yesterday.
Not really.
There's no justification.
No, you know, Mutegi, nowadays, you know, in National Assembly, anything you do, there is no justification. That's why pigs were brought there. But I'm telling you, the truth is that leaders also need to be given a conducive environment to perform their duties. You are given 10 bills. For example, what's on the other paper are 10 bills. You need to study them and look at them critically so that you can contribute.
Without a car, you can't look at a bill.
Not a car, without an office. Do you want me to sit near the courtyard there in Parliament and say, come here, what do you think of this clause in this bill? Be serious, man, even you.
You can even do it in a kiosk.
The citizen has given you an office to do your job.
Many of us here don't even have offices. Anyway,
the studio is your office.
Anyway, it is irrelevant. You can stand if you are patriotic. If you are patriotic Kenyans, you can do that thing even in the parliament. That many places to sit.
Other parkings in the courtyard.
Even courtyard, you can.
For you look at them 10 bills, which are going to affect you later.
10 bills are never debated at one go at one time.
No, at the order paper yesterday, we had 6 bills. If you look at it,
yes.
We had the microfinance bill, we had the insurance amendment bill, we had the constitutional amendment bill, we had many things. So we need to be facilitated, and actually we are not blaming also the leadership of Parliament, because these issues were brought by the new constitution. The number of members increased, many things. So we needed to be sorted out.
So whom are you blaming?
No, we were just putting sense
across to who?
To Treasury to release funds so that Parliament can function.
Treasury also has challenges.
Which challenges? And they are collecting taxes.
Transitional challenges.
No. You see, what do you mean by transitional challenges? The only transitional challenges they have is that they collapsed 40 ministries to 18.
So
and they should have done that 2 months ago to appoint the accounting officers.
Is your argument that the Treasury is doing whatever, failing to do that to punish members of Parliament?
Not really as such, but in this country nowadays, we are the third arm of the government. So we have to bring out our issues so that we can be heard and seen. But that's what we were doing actually yesterday.
We are telling you, even the army, there were delays in paying them. Civil servants were police the same. Now, are you saying they should follow your suit, follow your method?
No.
Then,
as you know,
as leaders, we should set an example and do the work you are supposed to do.
That's true, but you see, we are also there to do the work even on Tuesday. Recess means we have to go and rest. We are saying we don't want to rest. We want to work for Kenyans. Just sort us out, then we continue working, even the next 3 weeks.
There's this matter that you actually, MPs, refused to accept a letter that was read to the House by Leader of Majority Adam Duale, informing them that the salaries would be paid on Monday.
No, it was misunderstood. As far as I'm concerned, the letter that was brought by Duale yesterday was a letter written by an officer of Parliament to request for funds from Treasury. It was a letter requesting for funds from Treasury.
It wasn't an affirmation.
It was not an affirmation that there is money that has been paid to the Parliament. So the letter was just he was informing us that Parliament has already done a requisition. They have requested for funds. So by Monday the funds might be there. And that is the only information he brought to the floor. I don't think he brought anything more than that.
For knowing the history of Parliament, the way you are arguing for your salaries, the increment, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, don't you think Kenyans have justification to think that members of Parliament are greedy?
No. The salary matter has been sorted out.
It has
been negotiated.
You got even more than you deserved.
No, we didn't get more than we deserved. we got to what the salary, we agreed with the SRC, and we are we have agreed that all our payments will be taxed, unlike previous parliaments which never used to pay any taxes, and everybody agreed and signed with that matter ended at that level. So don't put a scenario that we have been paid more than we bargained for. Nothing. We only got what the Parliamentary Service Commission bargained for us.
You remember the hustling that came before?
Yeah, the funny part of it, I've realized when I joined Parliament, is the only institution in the government where your salary is discussed in public. Have you ever seen us discussing commission salaries on TV or other people? You have to accept that. You have to carry on with that.
And perhaps how do you respond to the general perception that MPs are greedy?
That one, time will tell. It has been something that has been said over and over that MPs are greedy, MPs are like this, but let's see. We are now working. The salary issue is behind us. Let's see on our performance the next 4 years, then Kenyans can judge whether we are worth what we are being paid.
Do you think yourself that it is fair for people to negotiate, to determine their own salaries? You have workers in your companies. Do they determine how much they will be paid?
No, you see, we have not determined our salaries. Our salaries has been determined under negotiations between the Parliamentary Service Commission and the Salary and Remuneration Commission. So we have a commission that negotiates on our behalf. It's not parliamentarians negotiating on the floor of the House. We have leadership. We have put in place a constitutional commission to look after the welfare and negotiate on behalf of Parliament.
When you say that your salaries are debated in public, but you are the one who brings the matter there.
No.
For instance, now about the matter about your car grants and the non-payment of your salaries. You are the ones who tabled that, who brought it to the floor of the House, which is a public place. Why can't you do it quietly? There was a letter written, which was brought there now from an officer to the Treasury. That's how the matter becomes public. You cannot blame
Mutegi,
the press.
Mutegi, Parliament, the chamber is a debating house. You are supposed to debate there each and anything, everything.
But not about your allowances.
Not really. It's not about our allowances. We were debating whether to adjourn yesterday or to adjourn on Tuesday. And that was the debate.
And then you brought the matter of your allowances there in public.
Yeah, that's why we are saying, we say that we don't need to go to the constituency at the moment. Let's continue working. Let us not adjourn. We sort out issues and we work and we pass all the bills and we go home. That was the conclusion.
Are you saying that by Tuesday those bills we're talking about will be done with?
They will be done with by Tuesday. You will see. They will be done with on Tuesday.
Respond to this. Somebody says, please don't call them leaders. Now we're talking about members of parliament. Leaders don't behave selfishly. One can work from anywhere. We as a country, we are a country where people work from home. In terms of how do you respond to that?
I agree with him. Leaders are not selfish. That's true. Except that it is the same people who have put leaders. It's the Kenyans who elected us to do certain things on their behalf. And let us not, see everything that MPs, when an MP talks about himself, it's just because the chamber is a place of debate and it is open to the public for scrutiny. But if we were to open each and every segment of the country to that kind of exposure, then you'll have had many complaints from many quarters. So leaders are not supposed to be selfish. I agree with him. But in terms of, I don't think this is a major issue. It's not as big as salary. We will be working on Tuesday. We will be working on Wednesday to pass those bills, and we will continue working.
But you made a mistake when you brought car grants into the matter. Because surely you don't walk to Parliament now, and you will get car grants. You cannot suspend our matters to do with VAT just because of your car grant. That, to the public, it's very embarrassing.
Not really. Wanamutegi, the car grant was... How many issues did we discuss yesterday? Why did you pick only on the car grant issue?
Because it's selfish.
Yesterday we passed many other bills yesterday.
Yes, but that aspect of your own selfishness, that's what is irritating us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we will do, we will pass the bills that you need, and we will get the cars that we require, and we will work for you people. I think that will make happy everybody.
People, when members of parliament go, and the member of public go to parliament, they see everybody coming there in cars. Nobody walks.
Yeah.
No MP walks.
Yeah, but you know it depends.
Kijana Malo used to walk when he
Yes.
was a member of parliament.
Yes.
He used to use the taxis.
You know,
he never had a car.
when you say walking, I don't know what you mean by walking. From your home here in Nairobi or from your constituency? You expect a member of parliament, Saboti, the Eugene Wamalwa used to walk. Was he walking from Saboti to
He was
parliament?
walking from the Intercontinental.
Huh?
Yeah.
Even me yesterday, I went to Intercontinental twice and I walked. But if he didn't, he never used to walk from Saboti or from Bigori. You have to come by certain means.
You can take a matatu.
From Migori.
Yeah. Why not? You can take a matatu.
Did you walk from your home to Citizen?
I've walked.
No, did you walk today from your home
No, of
to
course
Citizen?
not.
Then what are you saying?
You can, but
Be
if
serious,
need be,
Yes.
I can take a matatu.
Even me, if you
Are
are
you
not,
saying that if I don't have a car, I cannot?
if the government does not provide vehicles, we will still
Take
use
a
our
matatu.
means. We will even use matatu. We will
Like
use,
matatu.
you can even walk. But you know, the issue is certain positions come with certain. Why is your DC running around with a car that you failed with your own money and the VAT that you want us to pass and collect from Kenyans, and then you want the leader you voted for and queued for 5 hours to vote for him, sweating under a scorching sun, and you want to humiliate him when you bring him to the
This is too much more than members of parliament.
Huh?
This is too much more than members of parliament. But the members of parliament think their status because they
No,
are called Mheshimiwa.
No, not really.
Honorable.
No.
But then the difference is
No,
honorable.
you are mistaken. Not anymore. Mheshimiwas are ordinary people who serve Kenyans at that level.
Let me focus on trust issues. You made a statement. You said we need our cash before we can leave, otherwise we are being taken for a ride. What did you mean there?
No. You know, Mwakazi, you know, we have to. I told you from the beginning that for you to perform, there must be a conducive environment to do your job. If this studio is not there, you will not have done your job here. So we are not saying that we must be paid. If the government comes out and says that we don't have money now, we will still continue working. We are not saying that we will stop working. Yes. If they come out today and say we don't have money for now, Tuesday you will see us in parliament going on with our jobs. We have been without offices for the last 4 months and we have never complained.
When you say government, what do you mean? Because parliament is part of government.
No, I mean the executive, the treasury. If they say that they are broke now, they don't have money, we will continue working for Kenyans. We have passed, without these things, for the last 4 years, we vetted the cabinet, we vetted the principal secretaries, we did many things. Why are you not seeing those things we've done for the last 4 months without asking for what we have asked for yesterday? Why are you rubbishing all that work of last 4 months? Because of that business of including your personal issues in the debate. Instead of debating national issues, you bring your personal issues. No, you have missed the point. You have missed the point. The most irritating is car grant. No, it's not about the car grant. It's about facilitating the member of parliament to do his job. That's all. That's all. It's not about the car grant.
There's Auma from Kibra who says MPs, they should show patriotism and leadership. They can read the bills in the libraries, at universities, even parliament must be having a library.
That's true. That's a suggestion. If that's how we think that we should do, then it depends on how all members will look at it. And if that's the way we need to perform our functions, then it's okay. There were some people in that parliament yesterday who were saying, look, we have not had those things all these months. Why are you doing it now? Why can't you? We will not die because you don't have a car grant or you don't have a salary. You see, because that money will be paid. That's true. But issues need to be pointed out. Issues just need to be shown that this is the position of things. There is nothing more than that. There's nothing more than that. We will still continue working for Kenyans as we were doing before, with a car or without a car. I can assure you that. But you ODM members of parliament, the other day you protested, you went out of parliament because of what is called the terrain of numbers. Instead of facilitating and debating, the parliament has become so partisan. Instead of looking at issues nationally, regardless of what party you belong to, you disorganize things. That time when we walked out of parliament, we walked on the bill concerning the extension of time for the media bill. Yes. No, this is a constitutional requirement. The bill had to be passed by 27th of August this month. the commission on the commissions who are supposed to do that bill had enough time to present it before the members of parliament. So we were just trying to put sense across that we don't need to hurry things all the time and bring things in a hurry and have grey areas all the time in bills that are passed in parliament. We were telling them they should bring bills early enough so that we look at it properly. So that's the only message we were sending. And we were trying to show, because as you said, Jubilee has been subjecting everything on tyranny of numbers. We are trying to show them that there are times when tyranny of numbers might not work. A time like that. So we have to have a bipartisan approach in parliament so that we can do the national duty. It's not only ODM that is supposed to do the national duty, it's the whole house.
But when you boycott sittings, that is not helping the situation.
It's not boycotting. You need to come to parliament now, so that you understand how parliament functions.
I've reported in parliament for more than 10 years.
But that was all the time. Come back now. There are new standing orders. We were not boycotting sitting. We were in a sitting, except that we refused to vote for the extension. We were denying them the 2/3 number they required to extend the period of the bill. That's the only thing we did. We never boycotted any sitting.
Why is it that it's only ODM that saw that need, the other parties don't?
Because ODM wants to have bills on time. If the constitution says that we need to pass these bills by 27th of August, we want to have those bills early enough so that by 27th we are done with them.
If it was a matter to do with the welfare of members of parliament, they will do it within 1 hour.
Not really, not really. And why is Jubilee uniting us when it comes to welfare of parliaments?
It's the same greed, because the greed is greed.
Not really.
Greed, when it comes to greed,
yes,
there is no party.
Not really.
Yeah.
The bills are different. Bills, we have to take them more serious as they are required. We are in parliament because of those bills. We are not in parliament to earn salaries only. Salary is just part of emolument.
How many times do we read about quorum issues in parliament?
Of late, very few times. Of late, very few. It's not as regular as it used to be before.
There's somebody who says here, let's debunk the fallacy and myth propagated by Junet that they need to be facilitated to pass bills. Is he saying that by Monday, when the money comes, they'll pass all the bills come Tuesday?
No, not really. Bills, we have got bills to pass the next 4 years. We are not looking at the bills of tomorrow or the day after. So we will be looking at bills until we finish our term.
Will the media bill be passed?
The media bill will be passed, obviously, because
on Monday. By Tuesday.
No, it has been extended already. The Jubilee has requested that it's not ready. We need to scrutinize more. So 2 days ago it was extended for 4 months to come.
So really the question says, so where will you have read and studied the bills from? Will the constituency office have been set by the end?
The constituency office is supposed to serve the constituents at the constituency level. And the constituency here is supposed to serve the MP.
The question is asking this, since you refused to do that yesterday,
yes,
until your money is paid,
yes,
because you have no facilities, you are not being facilitated.
Yes.
Between yesterday and Tuesday, you will have no car loan, the money will be in the bank, there will be no, you will not have an office.
Yes.
So since you are claiming there is a question of standing the bills properly, where will you have standing those bills which you will pass on to?
At home.
At home?
Yeah, at home.
And
you study it at night at home. Then you come during the day prepared. You study at your house.
But even yesterday you knew you have a house.
No, you have to now.
You knew you have a house where you can study.
No, you have to study now. If you're not given an office at parliament, you study the bills at home. And then you come and pass.
You have a solution to your problem.
No, but you see,
you can do it at home.
The office serves two purposes.
Me, I was telling you can even do it at the kiosk when you are taking tea.
No, don't degrade MPs to that level. When you say can you report from a kiosk?
Obviously.
Be a bit fair.
We even go to Mathare ourselves.
Even they have MPs representing Mathare.
We go there.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, there's another one. Sami says, now that MPs refused to work yesterday, will they be paid or some money will be deducted from their August salaries like teachers?
Yeah.
MPs did not refuse to work yesterday.
You refused to pass bills that were supposed to be passed.
Yesterday, there is something, we need to demystify how parliament works. Yesterday, the only thing we did that we didn't adjourn We didn't go on recess. But otherwise, matters that appeared, other than the VAT bill, there were other matters that appeared on the order paper to be dispensed with. We all did all that. The leader of majority brought all the statements required from the government. Everybody, they did all their work, except that they didn't go on recess, which they will do maybe on Tuesday after dispensing with the VAT bill.
Why was the VAT bill suspended? Reason?
First, the VAT bill
is it very complicated to read?
No, it's not complicated. It has some amendments to be done first, and we didn't want to do it in a hurry yesterday.
Until
until Tuesday, when the amendments will be done, and it will be dispensed with, and we continue with our business as usual. We continue working for Kenyans.
Let's talk about, of course, another issue here. Of course, you are under the ODM umbrella.
Yeah.
There are a couple of things happening there in terms of succession politics. You're looking at 2017, and the youngsters are saying we need to be at the forefront. How are you handling that?
You know, that is a matter that is good for the party, number one. Number two, we are not saying that we have to take over ODM as youngsters. We are only saying that we need to work together and appreciating that the work that has been done by the previous leadership, whether they are old or young. Even the previous leadership had both young and old people in it. And the fact remains that ODM is the most vibrant party at the moment in the country. For your information, ODM is the largest single party in parliament, with over 95 members of parliament. ODM is the only party that has representation all over the country, in all the provinces of Kenya. So you can't compare ODM with these parties that are normally manufactured for purposes of elections. It's a party that has outlived many elections, 2007, 2013, and is gearing up now for the 2017 elections. So for those reasons, there are different and divergent opinions within the party on how we need to structure and reorganize the party for the coming elections. We really appreciate the work that was done by the leadership that is in existence, because these are people who took this party from nowhere, from the start, and made it what it is today. They made it the national look that today it has is because of people like Anyang' Nyong'o and Henry Kosgei, the chairman. So we are only giving divergent opinions. And number two, recently I was among the people, I was among the committee that was given the mandate to recruit the new CEO, the executive director, to replace Senator Junet Ongera. And we engaged a reputable HR firm, and we got the best, called Margaret Langat, who actually does not come from an area that voted for ODM in the last elections. That tells you that ODM is looking into the future. They're not looking at today. Otherwise, they will have taken somebody from Nyanza or somebody from Western or Coast.
One would imagine that that gentleman was recruited not because of that, what you are saying, is because he was very close to the former Prime Minister, and because he lost the elections. So he needed to be rewarded, get something to do.
Not really. All the people who were shortlisted and made to the final list were close to the Prime Minister, all of them. But after the interviews, he became tops. He had all the qualifications required to run that office. Putting into consideration that he comes from a region that didn't vote even for the Prime Minister in the last election. That tells you that ODM is a party that wants to have all Kenyans on board. It's not the kind of party that is of thinking of region, thinking of fiefdoms and cocoons, that or a party that wants to do elections and disappear, nowhere to be seen. So ODM is the party of the future. That's why you are seeing that there is vibrancy. There are people who are coming up saying that I want to be the Secretary General, others saying I want to be the chairman of the party, others saying that I want to be the treasurer, because they feel this is the party of the future. And the young man who said that that he wants to change is one guy who only said he's interested to become the Secretary General, and they went for Arambe, and I was one of them, and we just told him, like the way Luo say, Romo, umetosha, jaribu. He's one of the contestants who are interested in certain position. Otherwise, the party has a very strong leadership. I believe is the only party at the moment which has a functioning secretariat. All the other parties have closed shop. To add on that,
what do you say so?
I don't see the offices. Where are the offices of these other parties? ODM is at Orange House. You know where it is. If you go now, you'll find as an executive director with 4 deputy secretaries.
I don't speak for any other party, but I think I'm assuming that
they have closed you up. I'm assuring you. I don't see them functioning.
Let's talk about the latest move by the government to repossess the official cars of the court leaders. We're talking about Raila Odinga and even Kalonzo Musyoka. How is the party taking that?
That is very surprising, Mr. Mwakazi. You know, we don't need to remind ourselves things which were there as late as 2007. The Prime Minister left his job at the level of premiership and a co-president of this Republic of Kenya. And it is a constitutional thing. It was done under the National Reconciliation and Act. So I don't see why people forget that very soon, in a period of 4 months. Because if you leave a job, if you retire, if you leave your job now, you are there.
He did not lose a job. He lost the election.
No, he never lost an election. He never lost. You can't say that. You know what happened.
He was presidential candidate and he lost.
Yeah, but how do you prove that he lost? When you know that
the numbers, the figures were given.
No, those are your own figures.
They are not mine. They belong to the Electoral Commission.
Not really.
And the Supreme Court affirmed the same.
The Electoral Commission is unable to tally their figures up to today. You know that.
But
and when they were brought to Parliament, they could not swear on it.
They were the official statutory body to give the results, and they did.
But if 4 months later they cannot tally their results, so how do you believe in those results?
But they have tallied and present them to Parliament.
All right. No. So respond to that question. How's the party taking that move? Now you see,
when you leave your job, you are entitled to your benefits and other things. Even member of Parliament today, when he serves for 2 terms, I think, when he loses an election or he doesn't come back as a member of Parliament, he is entitled to some benefits. So what makes you believe that a man who left this country at the position of premiership, which is a constitutional office, because it is even in the transition clauses, who has done a lot for this country, who has sacrificed his life for this country, why do you want to humiliate him and give permission to non-script fellas like Mudhu Kariuki to address him on TV?
Yeah, I agree with you.
You agree with me now?
I have even said it publicly.
Basically, I mean, they're saying it's a new policy. It's a new policy. So you're saying that policy is really targeted at a court.
Which policy? You know, let me tell you something. For this guy has done a lot for this country. It's beyond reasonable doubt, that one. Now, for us, you know, in America, they celebrate whatever everybody has done, whether you are in the opposition or in the government. That is why they have that spirit of American. And that's why America is a cohesive country. If you don't appreciate what your opponent is doing, tomorrow when you leave job, when you also retire as a president in 2017, the way I'm seeing it coming, with the deputy president, you will not also be appreciated what you're doing.
But you see,
you'll be seen like any other person.
America is very different. When you lose elections, you don't go on every day you are criticizing the government after you lose. You go private. You start doing your biashara. But you don't every day focus on what the government is doing to criticize. That's different. And that's why they are in respect.
Americans handle credible elections. Here, that loose term you're using is still in contention. We are still in contention of that word you're using was loose. Who said Raila lost an election? Who told you?
But why is he not president?
He's not a president
why is he not president?
Because IBC decided him not to become the president.
Do you know?
That's why he's not the president.
Do you know? Raila took part in or ODM took part in the appointment of the electoral commissioners.
No,
including the chief executive of SWAGO.
That's true. But
in fact, SWAGO is seen more of ODM.
No,
yes.
ODM did not take part in recruiting of those people. What took part? Those people were vetted through a commission, through a panel. You forgot, man. ODM as a party doesn't have a commissioner in that commission.
No,
they were selected through a panel.
Is there any party which has a commissioner? Does you really have commissioners there?
No, but you see, the way you are putting it is like ODM has commissioners there. Then
no, everybody. And
even if we were to be given an opportunity to have commissioners there, we would not have told them to rig for us. I can assure you that one from my own knowledge in ODM. We will not tell them.
Who says that was rigging?
But we expected, Just listen, Mr. Mutegi.
Yes.
2007, this country went into that crisis because of incredible elections.
Yes.
As has been attested,
So we appointed
by the Kriegler report event.
Yes.
We expected IEBC to do a better job than 2007.
Did
Look
we
at
not-
what IEBC
Did
did.
we not have an interim electoral commission,
Yes, we had.
which was headed by one Hassan?
Isaac.
Yes.
Yes.
And he was confirmed because he was a man of integrity.
Yes.
He conducted many elections before, by elections, the referendum.
Yes.
A number of, no, we didn't complain then,
Let
the
me
referendum.
tell- let me
The
tell-
referendum
let-
was not rigged.
let me tell you
Those
something.
by-elections were not rigged. But when Raila lost,
Let me tell you
how
something.
come nobody else complained about rigging except Raila? What about the governors?
Yes, let me tell you something.
What about you?
No, me, I'm not complaining about rigging because I won and nobody has gone on petition against me. So if somebody had filed a petition, maybe my election will have been in doubt. Raila went for petition. But you see, Raila is not complaining as Raila himself.
Yes, it's ODM.
It is ODM as a party.
Yes.
Raila, he was not becoming the president for his family, for his wife and children. He was becoming the president on behalf of Kenyans.
Yes.
So it is the Kenyans who voted for him who are complaining.
But somebody had to lose.
So why do you...
Somebody had to lose.
Why do you narrow down the issue to Raila?
No.
Raila
I'm
is
saying,
not complaining.
Forget about that.
Yes.
Somebody had to lose.
Somebody had to lose fairly. Not somebody had to lose unfairly.
So
Somebody have to lose fairly.
let's wrap it up because we've been talking about MPs' greed.
Yes.
We want to move forward as a country that the citizens believe that MPs are there to serve them.
Yes.
And MPs are there to serve the people.
Yes.
What is your final word?
My final word is that I'm assuring Kenyans that we are going to serve them diligently. We are going to serve them and execute the purpose that they have taken us for to Parliament, number one. Number two, I want to inform them that Parliament is no longer as Parliament. It has more, constitutional, mandate to perform, to oversight the government, to represent them, and to legislate. Those are the three core functions that the Constitution has given to parliamentarians. We are going to perform. Me, I can speak on behalf of my side of the minority. I'm telling them where I belong to. We have taken up our job. We will perform as to the expectations, and we will perform our role as the minority in that house.
Right. So many thanks indeed. Talking to Honorable Junet Mohammed-MP Suna East, Member of Parliament. We'll be right back.